What is up, guys? Welcome back to the channel. My name is Travis. Of course, you are watching TWA Motorsports, and in tonight's video I'm going to show you a new vehicle that I purchased. It's probably a mistake. I think I'm over it already, but I'm going to show it to you anyway. I've had this thing for a little over a month and you haven't seen it in any of the videos. I don't know how somebody hadn't caught it. I feel like it's been like in the background of a video and somebody hasn't said anything in the comments, which is kind of crazy because you guys are pretty good at picking up on stuff like that. But I will tell you, I'm kind of in a red mood right now. Got the red shop truck here. I've been daily driving. I actually just filmed this, by the way. I filmed a video on this exact thing when I'm doing over right now and my microphone went dead. So guys, you're gonna have to deal with when I turn the mic away from me, it's gonna get a little muffled sounding. That's the downside of having wireless remotes or wireless microphones, is they go dead. But yes, I'm kind of in a red streak. We got the red shop truck here that I've been driving while I'm messing with the suspension on the red 2019 that I just got. Look, we traded my gray GMC Denali, Sierra Denali, in on Dana's car. I wanted a red like Denali pickup, but they don't make red. You can get maroon, but you can't get red. I don't know why GM hasn't figured out that people still want red. I think you can get red, but you got to order like 10 of them, and I didn't need 10 of them. And so I found that used one, and it's got some miles on it, but I'm completely happy with what I got. But this new one is red. I'm going to turn the camera around and show you here in just one second. But like I said, I feel like I'm already over it. I'll probably say that a couple times, but I wanted to try one. So I'll give this, kind of giving you some time to guess in the comments down below what it is. And let's just turn around and look at it, and we'll talk about what it is and why I bought it and where I got it and all that stuff. So this is a C8, and don't look at Dana's car. It's really dirty right now. I actually just got the title for it yesterday. We've had this thing for almost 3 months. I just got the title. That is ridiculous. Absolutely ridiculous that it takes that long. Had some issues for some reason with the state it was in before, but I got it. We own it now officially. So anyway, a red C8. And look, I'm sure you're thinking like, well, why wouldn't you buy a ZR1 or why wouldn't you buy a Z06? Well, they're a lot of money, and I still think they have some room to come down. So right now, ZR1s, new ZR1s, for one, if you can get one, you're going to pay 50 to 100 grand over sticker. I don't have that kind of money to just throw away, and I think they're going to come down. They're going to, as they start to come out, more of them come out, I think you're going to see that price drop. I think that same thing is going to happen with the Z06. Believe me, I looked at the E-Ray, which is this car, but it's got the wide body like the Z06 and the ZR1, and it's got an electric motor in the front. I looked for one of those, but they're still kind of high too. The Z06s have some room to come down, so I think this car, for what I bought it for, I can't really get hurt. I don't want to lose $20,000 to $30,000 on a, hey, I just wanted to try this car. I've done that before, and that sucks. So I didn't want to do that again. I didn't want to buy new. I actually found a used one that I went and looked at, and this one's used. But yeah, I wanted to try a C8. I think these things are great looking cars coming down the highway. When I see the front end of one, they're just so menacing looking, and it's just a really good looking car in my opinion. And I really wanted red. I just think red screams sports car. Like I said, maybe I'm just in a red kick right now, but that's the color that I wanted. But I found one in Kansas City that I went to look at, not this one. We drove about 3 hours up to Kansas City. That's about how far it is from where we live in Missouri. We're down the southern corner, and we get up there. I told the people I was coming, so they knew I was coming. We get there, it's at a new Hyundai dealership. It was a trade-in. It's parked on the lot with all the other cars. It's covered in dirt. Like, they knew I was coming. It's just weird to me that, like, when I was selling cars, because I used to do that, I always had a car like cleaned up when somebody was coming from a long way away, or even an hour away, just to make sure it was like clean and ready to go. I had it up front. Like, I guess that's just not the way dealerships do things now. Some do probably, but this one didn't. So I get there, and it was a 3LT, which I kind of wanted. I wanted a Z51. I wanted front lift, so the front lifts up and down to clear like driveways and whatnot. And I wanted, I think I already said Z51 and that. Those were the two main options, and I wanted it to be red. This one, the first one I went to look at was a 3LT. I didn't really care about that. I did like the 3LT because it's got a little nicer leather. It's got Napa leather. I think they massage the cows before they cut them up and make dashes out of them. But the very first thing I noticed, other than it was dirty, is it had the leather on the dash was peeling back. So right here on this like second little piece, the leather was peeling. So right out of the gate, the thing's dirty. That was peeling. I'm like, I don't think so. 9,000 mile car. I took it out for a drive thinking, well, we'll at least drive it. I came this far. I'm not real familiar with these cars. It was riding incredibly harsh. I couldn't figure out how to get it in touring mode. Finally figured that out, softened up. But when I hit the brakes, it had a ton of like shimmy in the wheel. Like it had a warped rotor. And I'm thinking for 9,000 miles, this thing must have been just ragged on if it needs brakes at 9,000 miles. Or something's weird. Now, look, probably the brakes may not have been warranted. I probably could have got the dash warranty through GM with it being such a low miles. It was a 2023. But anyway, between those three items, and the salesman was a complete idiot. He was different. I wouldn't have bought that car if they'd have bumped the price down 10 grand. I wouldn't have. I didn't like the sales guy. And so I just like, let's just get out of here. So we went over to Bass Pro while we were there, and I found this one. And it was relatively close, like 15 minutes away. And I thought, well, at least we'll look at it while we're up here. We're already 3 hours away from the house. So we went and looked at this one, and I didn't recognize when I found this one that under the price, there's like a little thing that states you got to trade and you got to use our financing to get this price. I didn't know that. So more on that here in a minute. But this is a 2024 model, so it's a year newer than the one I went to look at. It was on the showroom floor, was spotless. The battery was dead, but it was spotless. And it's exactly what I was looking for. 1,680 miles is what this thing had on it. 2024, 2LT instead of a 3LT, so it doesn't have the prone dash warping. They don't seem to have that problem. And it does have front lift. It is a Z51 car, so you can tell by the brakes, and the exhaust is different on a Z51. And some of them have this spoiler. I think you can get it with different packages. I'm not like a Corvette connoisseur when it comes to like, I don't know everything about these cars. I know quite a bit about the C6, especially like the ZR1s. I know quite a bit about the C7s, but when it comes to the C8, I'm completely dumb. I don't know all the packages. I don't know all the combinations you could get. I don't know, and I don't have my jean shorts and my white socks and my New Balances on, so I couldn't tell you if this is like one of two with black interior red that's in my county. I don't know all that stuff. I'm not that guy. But what I will tell you is it checked all the boxes that I was looking for. So the 2LT does come with some stuff that the 1LT and 3LT, I mean the 3LT has everything, but the 1LT doesn't have like cooled seats or ventilated seats, whatever they call them. This one has performance data recorder, so you can record. It has another way you can tell is the Z button on the steering wheel. Generally that means it's a Z51 car if it's a base model. What else? I can't even think. Oh, it's got heads up display. It's got the front lift, so that button in the center right there is for front lift. And so like I said, you can lift it up in driveways and whatnot and go up and down. But this one also, another thing that was kind of cool, it was ceramic coated, which I don't, that's just something I don't have to do, but it's got a clear top so you can see. But then in the back here, it actually came with two tops. The gentleman ordered it with two tops, so it's got the all red roof as well, which is kind of a hassle, to be honest with you. If you're wanting to take a top out and you already got one back here, there's really nowhere to put it. But I'm not going to complain. I will say that I think they make some dress-up kits for these engines. I don't know if some come with it. I think there's an option to get a painted cover for the engine. Like I said, I don't know a ton about these cars other than I just wanted to try one. And so I've had this thing for a little over a month now. And like I said, I feel like I'm kind of over it at this point. It's a fun car to drive. It's very comfortable. It shifts great. It's pretty quick. I did get Dana to kind of play on the interstate on the way home. She was in her car, and I'm on the highway trying to give her, get her to go, just go, and then I'll try to. And so we did, and I thought I was holding up pretty good, but she said she was only at half throttle. Now, look, I don't know if that's true or not. Maybe she was. Look, there is no doubt that that car would destroy this car in a race, especially like quarter mile. Those cars run 920s at like 155 in the quarter. This car, I think the best time's like 11.1 stock, 11.1 at like 120 something. So look, it's no comparison, but I thought it was doing pretty good, like just from a roll on the highway. She's breaking my heart. She has the fastest car at the house, which is pretty pathetic for a guy who's into cars and likes cars, that your wife's plug-in car with 4 people in it and loaded with groceries will smoke everything at this house. It's absolutely ridiculous. Anyway, I don't, there's not a whole lot to say about it. I'm not going to take it out and take you for a drive. There's a ton of point of view videos out there of these things driving. I will show you some cool things that it has though. I'll do a cold start. Has a really good sound when it's like first starting and idling down. I will say that like this is essentially the same motor that my other red truck has. So it's a 6.2 direct injection. They sound nothing like that. Of course, look, the exhaust is, you know, what, a foot long in the back of these cars since the motor's in the back. I think that probably has something to do with it. You can hear how quiet it gets when it tones down. But I want to show you a couple things on the interior that's kind of cool. The technology in these things is just incredible now. It's one of the things I'll show you is like the tour function, like what happens with the gauge layouts. So if we go over to like, okay, that's my mode. Let's go over to that's touring mode. So I don't know if you guys can hear the exhaust change. Sport mode, track mode, and in track mode it's going to give you a different layout, like your tire temperatures, your oil pressure, your oil temperature or water temperature. I think it gives a G meter. You can like customize this to all of that stuff, but just kind of cool. And I think whatever you shut it off in, it starts in. The valves are always open when it's cold, but then when it warms up it closes them or leaves them open depending on what mode you're in. Then you have the Z mode, so you can program your own stuff. And I've just kind of got it set where like max performance, but then soften the suspension and mid-range on the brakes. You can change everything's configurable in this. It's kind of cool. And then, like I said, this front cameras, front lift, traction control off. One of the things they did away with in 2026 is they got rid of the kind of controversial bar here that's got all the buttons on it for your HVAC control. This is kind of weird. It's weird when you have a passenger with you because they're so blocked off from you. You're really kind of like in a cockpit. And the new ones, they soften this up so it's not, I think it comes to like right here, so you've got way more area open. They put the phone holder or another phone holder up here or somewhere you can put stuff. The current phone holder is right there where your wireless charge, and it's just weird to have your phone back there. And then the newer ones, they added like a screen here, I think, with some different functionality. But it does have heads-up display. I don't know if you guys saw that while it was running, and I don't know if I can just turn this on and you can turn. It has rear view camera, so like if you flip this back, it gives you a live feed behind you. I think the car has to be running for that to work. But yeah, I was just pretty impressed with the car. And it just has, if you guys have owned a newer Corvette, so like a C7, the C6 is not so much, but the C7 and the C8, they have a distinct smell on the inside, and it's a good smell. It's like a new car smell, and it smells so good. I wish you guys could smell it. And if you've had one of these cars and they've been new enough, you probably know what I'm talking about. But it like takes over your whole garage. I'll walk out here and the whole garage will smell like a brand new Corvette. It just smells so incredibly good. I can't get it. I wish they'd make it and bottle it, and that would be an incredible smell to spray in other cars. It smells that good. But I don't know. Like I said, I shouldn't have bought the thing. Probably. I wanted to try one. I didn't want to spend the money on a Z06 because I didn't know that I'd love the car. I really should have done a rental. I really have a problem. I've told my wife I probably need a therapist. I'm constantly looking at cars. I'm constantly thinking about buying a car or looking for stuff when I don't need it, and total piles of crap that I think I'm going to redo, and I don't have time to do the stuff that I've got. This one, at least, I don't have to do anything to it. I just can drive it and enjoy it until I'm tired of it and then sell it. And with it being as low miles as it is, 1,600 miles, I think it's 2,100 now. I don't think I'm going to get hurt as far as what I paid for it. So, but back to the financing situation. They told me that I had to trade something and I had to finance with them in order to buy it. And that wasn't going to go. For one, I wasn't going to trade anything. And the other, I really didn't want to use their financing. I told them I'd either get my own or I'd just write a check. And they said, well, you can't buy it for that price then. and they brought me back a different price. It was like $2,500 higher. Like, I've never heard of this, but the dealership was great. So nothing against them. It's just the way they make money now. Dealers, I think it's really hard to be a dealer now because internet's caused pricing to be like pretty uniform across the board. And so the kind of the way they do it is they're getting the money on the trade. They're doing what we called I used to be in this business called hugging a trade. So if your car's worth 20, they give you 15, and then they make it up when they sell your car. And there's some reconditioning that goes into cars and whatnot. They may need tires or what, but still, like, knowing a car's valued at 20 and offering you 15 is what we would call hugging a trade. So I just thought that was weird that they had that going on. And then, so I was like, well, whatever, I'll just use your financing. And they were able to get to that price if I use their financing. So I obliged, but I thought I'll just write a check, you know, and on the first payment and just pay it off. And they said, no, you got to carry it for 4 months. So a lot of times dealers too will sell points on financing. So like if you might get approved for 4% interest, and they're going to tell you you got approved for 6, and they split the difference with the bank or whatever. So I know that's been a game that's been played a while. I just don't understand that at the rate that they got me approved at, or told me I was approved at, how they could possibly make money at 4 months. So let me know in the comments if you know how that works. But anyway, I did it. So technically I need to make 4 payments before I can pay it off or whatever, sell it, whatnot. I didn't buy any extended warranty. Of course, look, I own an auto repair shop. We do all this stuff on YouTube. I'm very comfortable with the things that could go wrong with this car. It's got 2,000 miles on it. It's under warranty. They actually paid to have it certified. This wasn't a GM dealer, but they took it to a GM dealer, paid to have it certified, which extends the warranty even further. So all in all, I'm setting pretty decent in this car, below what these things are selling for. So I feel like I did okay. So if I keep it for another month or 2 or whatever, I think I'm going to be okay, even if they make a gazillion more of these, which I don't think they're slowing down production. And maybe in that time, the Z06s and the ZR1s will creep down, and maybe we can upgrade to one of those. It's hard to like see one of these and then see a Z06 and not get excited. For one, the Z06 with a flat plane crank sounds amazing, and the wide body just makes this one look weird when you see that wider body on them. But anyway, I've rambled enough on this thing. I wanted to show you guys. You're probably going to see it in the background of other videos. I don't know, like I said, whether I'm going to keep it or not. If I do keep it, I did plan on maybe lowering it some. With that front end lift, I can still clear some stuff. These things look really good lowered with tinted windows and some wheels. Now, that is as far as I would go with this. I have no plans to modify the engine in any manner. And I'm not even sure that I'm going to do those things that I just talked about. That's just if I decide to keep it. So if you guys did enjoy this video,